Hello and good morning, Blue Jays fans, and welcome to Jays Latest. I'm your host, Craig Borden. Here today, we are going to talk all things Toronto Blue Jays related. Because I don't know how much y'all pay attention to the news, but it feels a little all too familiar again because the Toronto Blue Jays once again lose out on the top free agent on the market. And it, of course, out of all people, comes down to the stinking LA Dodgers. So the deal to Kyle Tucker ends up being a 4 year, $240 million deal. Holy shnikes. I just can't imagine in what universe that Kyle Tucker actually is worth $60 million a year annually. And the other part of that whole thing is apparently about $30 million of this contract are actually deferred. So it's like, what, 57 and some change that he's going to get paid every season. No, I'm okay with this one. I really just think that handcuffs the Blue Jays, and I, like I said, I just don't know what universe that he's worth that much. I really think he's a good player, but I was thinking around 30, 40, and just to be that person. So was every metric that you were looking at on the market, but the bidding war happened. And the offers of what ended up coming through was a similar idea from what I think the offer from the Mets apparently was somewhere in the ballpark of $220 million over 4 years. Um, yeah, Dodgers just are like, here, have that, and didn't even think about it and just threw more money at him. So Blue Jays were in it apparently till the end. So this was something that it wasn't like the Blue Jays were just completely out of it or something like that. It was one of those things that literally we were apparently all the way in until the end, and which is still encouraging because at the end of the day, the Blue Jays are still trying to spend money, but you can't make somebody take it. And that's really what it unfortunately fell down to again. But the Blue Jays are going to run this damn thing back. They still have one of the best clubs in baseball. Kyle Tucker or not, they improved a lot this offseason, and it's not over yet. I haven't heard anything. We got at least 25 more days before pitchers and catchers report. So, on that note, we have already grabbed Dylan Cease. We have, Kazuma Akamoto is going to play third base for us all day, every day. You also have, Cody Ponce, who is going to do a really good job, I think, in this, rotation as well. So the Blue Jays have gotten better. They have added just enough that it's not going to be catastrophic heading into this new season or anything like that. So the biggest catch is they should not be done, and they have some very big unfinished business, and a gentleman that has some very big unfinished business with this team in beating those LA Dodgers inches, and Kyle Tucker doesn't change that. So gotta go full on Bo Rao. Bo needs to know that the Blue Jays are fully serious in keeping him long term. Just get this over with. Blue Jays fans have been dying for it to happen. He's literally been offered free steak from restaurants, free pizza. The man's never gonna have to pay for a meal in the city of Toronto ever again. So give him the contract, give him what he wants. He's our guy. This is very much in the same ballpark as signing Vladdy and all of us talking about why we needed it to happen, it had to happen, all that kind of good stuff. So we are in that ballpark now. There is not anybody else on this free agent market, as I'm looking at the sheet over here on my left, that stands out offensively or fits this lineup in any fashion as well as Bo Bichette. So it needs to get done. It's right there. The problem that I unfortunately see, seeing it hasn't happened yet, I don't think it's the Kyle Tucker thing. I worry there's something going on, and my worry is that Bo Bichette's already checked out, and he is already mentally wearing a Philadelphia Phillies uniform. So there would be the catch. I once again happened to just see the video of Bo Bichette hugging Don Mattingly after the World Series, where he sneaks up behind him, gives him a bunch of pats on the chest, and it just reeks of too much friendship and too many good things there. And Bo Bichette always had, BP with Don Mattingly, and Don Mattingly is now playing, a bench coach for the Philadelphia Phillies because his son's the general manager. So I worry that that's already kind of a done deal. It's just officially not on paper yet. But you never know. Money talks. There is some great things that would obviously keep Bo Bichette very happy in Toronto. It might be a matter of time, but right now it's also not far off. I don't think. I think this Bo Bichette thing is going to be the next priority in all Major League Baseball. Hopefully, this puts the Dodgers out of the ballpark for Bo Bichette, but you never know. So, moving right along, we do have one more topic that we need to talk out, and that is yesterday was International Signing Day, and guess what? We actually signed a bunch of people. So, on that note, the Blue Jays signed 11 youngsters out of the Dominican Republic, and they're going to be playing throughout the Blue Jays system. Some of them won't be in the actual system for a few years because they're 17. They're not in the 18 ballpark yet, but that might be one of those things that just depends on how damn good they are. The two names that you are going to want to remember, just like you're going to want to remember last year's top pick, Juan Sanchez, the Blue Jays are going to be having the services of Michael Mesa, who is number 30 on the international signings prospect board, according to Baseball America and MLB Pipeline. He apparently has a lot of great tools. Blue Jays signed him for a $900,000 deal out of the Dominican Republic. And he has not come alone, like I said. He's got 10 other guys with him. And the other one that the Blue Jays spent the most on is youngster Juan Caracode. And Caracode is literally one of the top prospects on this list. And the Blue Jays had that international signing money that they could take advantage of. $1.95 million for the young catcher. And he is apparently got pop. He's a great catcher. It's pick a tool. He can do it. So this would be at the age that he's at, come 2030, probably by the time we're wondering if we're going to re-sign Alejandro Kirk full-time every day continually, which honestly, seeing Alejandro Kirk, I think was just named number 76 on the all MLB top 100 right now kind of thing. It's very interesting though, but this kid apparently has all the tools. If those tools translate the way it sounds like that I was reading on Baseball America's website from him with the power tool especially, makes me wonder if he actually sticks at catcher. It sounds very, very, very Carlos Delgado to me. People forget that. Do you remember that? Carlos Delgado started as a catcher in the Blue Jays minor league system. He was on the 1993 World Series roster World Series championship level team as a catcher most of that year. So, intriguing, right? So, anyways, one last thing, if you have not checked out my buddy at Not Guy Yeti, he does the NEPTA database, or Not Enough People Talk About. He did a great article yesterday on Tony Fernandez, who will always be the number one in most Blue Jays fans' hearts. So check that out. It was a great write-up. And anyway, make sure you say happy birthday to our friend of the show, Jaybird Watching. Rance Molinix had happy birthday yesterday. He's 70, so congrats, buddy. Talk to you soon. And as usual, everybody, we will be here to talk all things Toronto Blue Jays. Make sure you tune in. And as always, let's go Blue Jays. Cheers, everybody.